Hi guys, so I'm here today to talk about ecosystems. I'm down here in my woods and there's really kind of two ecosystems in this area. There's the forest ecosystem and right over here a little bit, and I'll show you in a minute, is a little stream. So there are two different ecosystems here. So what's an ecosystem? Do you remember? Well, an ecosystem is the biotic and the abiotic together in one area. Okay, so my one area is this woods down here with the stream, and the biotic and the abiotic. What does that mean? Well, biotic is all the living. Abiotic is the non-living. So let's name some biotic. Well, I have these mayaples. Actually, I was down here looking for some morels. Morels, a lot of times I have some down here. There's trees, there's shrubs, there's grass. Here's some pretty little violets, Wisconsin state flower. There's that crappy white flowered yuck. And then there's multiflora rose. There's lots of different types of trees down here too. There's walnut, there's maple, there's oak. So besides the plants, we could also name, there's deer, there's rabbit, there's squirrels, there's birds, there's worms, there's coyotes, all kinds of living things. There's a snail on one of the mayaples. What about the abiotic? So that dead tree that's laying over there, is that abiotic? No, that's not considered abiotic because that was once living. Abiotic is the dirt. Okay, can you see that trail right there? There's a deer trail. That dark spot, dark path going up into the woods. We have a lot of deer around here. And the air. And let's go over here to the water. Water would be abiotic. Speaking of air, breathe in. Where does that air come from? Here's some little marsh pansies too. See those little yellow flowers? Aren't those cute? Okay, back to my question. Where does the air come from? Where does that oxygen come from? Look around at all of the green there is down here. All those green plants, all that chlorophyll in those plants, they're doing photosynthesis. So that's where our oxygen comes from. Okay, here's our stream. So we've got abiotic, water, rocks, dirt, air. We've got biotic. Don't make me name them all again. And that's all part of this ecosystem. The biotic and the abiotic together in one area. Okay, so if we talk level of organization, what's the next level down from ecosystem? Well, the next level down from ecosystem is community. Community is just all the living, all the biotic. So then that's all the plants, all the trees, and all the other plants, the deer, the squirrels, the rabbits, the coyote. Okay. What's the next level down after community? Population. So if we go back over to my mayaples, All of those Mayaples together. That's the population. There's a pretty large population of Mayaples right here. Oh, here's another biotic creature. This is Steve the cat. He follows me. Okay, so population. All one type of species living together. So my population of Mayaples, it's quite large. Ooh, look at that cool fungus over there. White on the tree. And then the next level from population would be organism. And that's just one member of that species. So one little Mayapple. That's one organism in this entire population of Mayaples. Okay? Level of organization goes from organism being the smallest level because it has the least number of individuals. Next, population, one species, a whole bunch of them, all of them living in that area, in that ecosystem. Then community, all of the different populations, so all the Mayaples, all the populations of different trees, all the population of deer that live around here, the population of squirrels, and then lastly, ecosystem. Ecosystem is this area, all the living and the non-living. I guess we could go one level up, which would be biome. Okay, so let's compare and contrast. What is alike about my two little ecosystems here? My forest and my stream. What's alike about them? Well, they're both made of living and non-living things. Even my forest floor over here has a lot of water in the soil. It's damp. You can tell it's damp because we've got all those Mayaples growing. That's habitat. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. The biotic parts of my stream, usually we have a lot of watercress growing in this stream. And there's some crawdads and there's some snails. Not a lot of fish because this stream is pretty narrow, pretty shallow. But there would be a lot of bacteria growing in there too. Okay, so that's how my two ecosystems are alike. How are they different? Well, I think that my forest has more living organisms, more different populations than my stream. But you know what? They sure depend upon one another. What do you think the deer do when they're thirsty? They're lucky because they have a stream right here. What about habitat? Let's talk habitat before I'm done here because my phone's about to die. All right, habitat. The reason that you often find Mayaples growing around morels is because they both have the same habitat. They both like the wet, the moist area, cool conditions, and lots of shade. Okay, one last question before my phone dies here. So what would happen if I came down here and I sprayed a pesticide, a weed killer, all over these Mayaples? Okay, tell me what would happen to this ecosystem. Another question. Last year when we got so much rain, that little stream over there flooded You can see some of the weeds that got caught up on the dead tree there because this whole valley kind of flooded. What does that do to the habitat of some of the organisms that live in this area? Okay, so there's my video on ecosystems. Hope you enjoyed it. Go find some morels. If you can find any, you can give them to me. Bye.